Close your eyes for a few seconds and just listen. Take a slow breath in. Hold it for a moment. Now let it go. For the next few minutes, you don't have to be a wife. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to fix anyone. You don't have to have all the answers. Just be here. Just breathe. Because I have a feeling this video found you at exactly the moment you needed it, even if you don't fully understand why yet. Maybe you waited until everyone was asleep before pressing play. Maybe the house is finally quiet. Maybe you're sitting in the bathroom, the only room where no one asks anything from you. Or maybe you're lying in bed next to the man you married, staring at the ceiling while he sleeps peacefully beside you. And all you can think about is the question that refuses to leave your mind. Should I stay? Should I leave? Is this marriage wounded, or is it already over? You keep searching for certainty. A sign. A conversation. A sentence. Something that will finally make the decision clear. Because right now, every option feels painful. Staying hurts. Leaving scares you. And being stuck between the two is exhausting. But before we talk about your marriage, I need to ask you something far more important. Something that most people never ask. Something uncomfortable. Something honest. Did your marriage actually end, or did you slowly disappear inside of it? And before this video ends, I'm going to give you a simple exercise that may help you begin finding the answer. It will take less than 5 minutes. But if you do it honestly, it could reveal something you've been unable to see for years. So stay with me. Because this conversation isn't really about saving a marriage. It's about finding the woman who got lost somewhere along the way. The woman who slowly stopped recognizing herself and doesn't know exactly when it happened. I am not here to judge your husband. I am not here to tell you that divorce is the answer. And I am certainly not here to convince you to stay in a situation that is breaking your spirit. What I want to do is help you hear something that may have been buried beneath years of sacrifice, disappointment, confusion, responsibility, and emotional exhaustion. Your own voice. Because the pain you're carrying right now may not come from a lack of love. In fact, that's what makes this so difficult. You may still love him. You may still care deeply about the life you built together. You may still remember the man you fell in love with. The problem is that love and loneliness can exist in the same room at the same time. Many women learn that the hard way. There is a particular kind of loneliness that comes from sharing a home with someone who no longer sees you clearly. You eat dinner together. You talk about bills, schedules, responsibilities, and daily life. From the outside, everything looks normal. But inside, you feel unseen, unheard, unknown. Not abandoned physically. Abandoned emotionally. Maybe you felt it while sitting across from him at the dinner table. He's talking, you're listening, but somehow you feel miles away. Or maybe you felt it at night. You're lying beside him while your mind races with worries, fears, and sadness. He's close enough to touch, yet somehow feels impossibly far away. That kind of loneliness changes people. And the frightening thing is that it doesn't change you all at once. It happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. You stop bringing up certain topics because they always lead to arguments. You stop expressing certain needs because you already know the answer. You stop sharing certain feelings because you're tired of feeling dismissed, misunderstood, or ignored. At first, you tell yourself you're simply being patient, more mature, more understanding. You tell yourself that every marriage has seasons. Every relationship requires compromise. And that's true. But there is a difference between compromise and self-erasure. There is a difference between choosing peace and slowly abandoning yourself in order to avoid conflict. One day you realize you're carefully managing every conversation, measuring every word before you speak, rehearsing difficult discussions in your head before they happen, avoiding topics that matter, hiding emotions that feel inconvenient, shrinking parts of yourself just to keep the peace. And what once felt like love begins to feel like survival. This is why so many women eventually reach a breaking point and think, maybe I need to leave. Not because they suddenly stopped loving their partner. Not because they're chasing excitement or a different life. But because the heart gets tired. The soul gets tired. And eventually your survival instincts begin speaking louder than your hope. But before you make any major decision, I want you to pause. Because there is a trap many people fall into. They believe changing their relationship status will automatically heal their pain. They imagine that a new apartment, a different routine, or a legal document will somehow restore the parts of themselves that have been lost. The truth is more complicated than that. If you leave without reconnecting with yourself, you may carry the same emptiness into the next chapter of your life. The same self-doubt. The same fears. The same loneliness. A different address cannot automatically heal a wounded identity. A different future cannot automatically rebuild a forgotten self. That's why this conversation isn't really about deciding whether to stay or leave. It's about making sure you don't lose yourself again. Because whether you stay married or not, you'll still wake up every morning with the same person looking back at you in the mirror. And that relationship matters more than most people realize. So let me ask you something. If absolutely nothing changed in this relationship for the next 5 years, what would you need to change about yourself just to survive it? Don't think about what he should do. Don't think about how he should improve. Think only about yourself. What would you have to give up in order to keep living exactly like this? Would you need to become quieter? Less expressive? Less hopeful? Less honest about your feelings? Would you need to stop expecting emotional connection? Would you need to stop asking for support? Sit with that question for a moment. Because your answer may reveal more than years of arguments, counseling sessions, and sleepless nights ever could. Sometimes the clearest sign that something is wrong isn't the amount of conflict in the relationship. It's the person you're becoming inside of it. It's looking in the mirror and realizing that the woman staring back at you feels unfamiliar. It's noticing that you've become someone who is always managing, always adapting, always carrying, but rarely living. Think back to who you were before all this weight settled on your shoulders. Before every conversation felt complicated. Before every disagreement felt exhausting. Before you started questioning yourself so often. There was a version of you that laughed more freely, dreamed more boldly, trusted herself more deeply, and felt more alive than she does today. That woman is not gone. She may feel distant. She may be buried beneath years of responsibility, disappointment, and emotional survival. But she is still there. And before you decide the future of your marriage, you need to reconnect with her. Because she deserves a voice in this decision too. Maybe more than anyone else. Many women spend years waiting for their partner to change before allowing themselves to be happy. They tell themselves, when he finally understands me, then I'll feel better. When he finally changes, then I'll start living again. But that approach quietly hands your power to someone else and leaves your life on permanent pause. Real strength begins when you reclaim responsibility for your own emotional life. Not because his actions don't matter. They do. Not because your pain isn't real. It is. But because your healing cannot depend entirely on choices you do not control. Healing begins when you stop waiting for permission to become yourself again. And something remarkable often happens when a woman reconnects with herself. Fear becomes quieter. Desperation loses its grip. Decisions become less reactive and more intentional. She no longer chooses from exhaustion. She chooses from clarity. Whether the marriage survives or not, she begins rebuilding something even more important, her relationship with herself. Before you leave, I want to keep the promise I made at the beginning of this video. I want you to do something simple. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Open the voice recorder on your phone. Find a quiet place where nobody will interrupt you. Then press record and answer this question: what have I been carrying alone for too long? That's it. One question. No perfect answer. No preparation. No script. Just start talking. Say whatever comes to your heart. Don't worry if your thoughts seem messy. Don't worry if you cry. Don't worry if you sit in silence for a moment. This recording isn't for social media. It isn't for your husband. It isn't for anyone else. It's for you. Talk for 2 minutes or 20. It doesn't matter. What matters is that, for a few moments, you stop editing yourself. Stop protecting everyone else. Stop minimizing your pain. Just tell the truth. And when you're finished, save the recording. Don't send it to anyone. Don't delete it. Just keep it somewhere safe. A few weeks from now, listen to it again. You may discover something unexpected. The woman you've been searching for wasn't gone. She wasn't lost forever. She was still there. Beneath the responsibilities. Beneath the disappointments. Beneath the exhaustion. Beneath everything she had been carrying alone for far too long. And if this conversation helped you today, stay with us. The next videos won't tell you what decision to make. They won't pressure you to stay. They won't pressure you to leave. Instead, they'll help you hear your own voice again. One conversation at a time. One truth at a time. One step at a time. Maybe your marriage can be healed. Maybe it can't. But right now, that isn't the most important question. The most important question is this: can you find your way back to yourself? Because the woman you're looking for isn't somewhere out there. She's still inside you. And together, we're going to help her come home. We'll talk again soon.